I'm Tessa. I work at Framebridge. I'm gonna hang a gallery wall today, and I'm gonna do it in a way that's sort of disorganized. I know, like, we often like to show you exactly how to do it and make it perfect, but I happen to have a lot of frames that I think are gonna look really good together, and I've decided I'm just gonna go for it with this huge wall that we have. So I'll tell you my tips and tricks along the way. When choosing frames for your wall, so the one I'm doing right now is not gonna be a wall where I've planned it all out to begin with. As you can see, like, I actually already have these frames, so I didn't frame them ever with the intention of hanging them together. But having worked at Framebridge for so long, I realized recently that I happen to have a lot of frames that look really good together, and even a lot that are in the same frame. Specifically this one called Richmond, this like sort of antique gold molding. So I decided that I'm gonna make this gallery wall from lots of gold, white, and black frames, and I'm not gonna use any wood frames in this. The other thing is, as I'm thinking of the arrangement, I like to kind of play with the different places that your eye can go in the wall. So normally when I'm doing a gallery wall, it's sort of like there's a natural place for your eye to go. Like, it has weight, visual weight, either because the art is really interesting or bright, or like something catches your attention about it. It's like or everything else in the styling is like pointing toward it. With this wall, because I'm really gonna try to just fill up the wall, I almost want to try to spread out the points of interest, so we're not like, you don't immediately see it. It's almost more like a wallpaper. It's a backdrop to the other things that are gonna be in front of it. So I'm gonna mark the top of this desk, and that's really the only measuring I'm gonna do for this whole thing. I'm just gonna hang them as I go and think of how I do it as I go. All right, so the ones I definitely wanna use, I'm gonna lay out on my table. I'm just gonna like start to visualize them. I like about 2 inches between each frame, and I like to think of the alignment of the frames as significant. So like any frame that you are placing between two other frames is either left, right, or centered as it relates to the frames above and below it. And it's either top, bottom, or center as it relates to the ones on either side of it. So thinking about those things is really important and will help your wall feel sort of well balanced and spaced out. Another thing that I always think about is, you're gonna laugh, and I'm sure I'm gonna run into this and have to move something around, but like the worst thing in my mind is when you have 4 frame corners like coming together in one spot. I try really hard to avoid those things, keep about 2 inches between everything, move the art and the frames, space them out in the design so that color is balanced. And none of the frames that I am including are like this, but if you have one with like one really big wide molding, it can be really beautiful to include that. But think about that as part of the visual weight of the art. That's gonna sort of garner a lot of attention and eye space or mind space when you see it. If you're putting one of those in, think about other things you can layer in front of it and sort of separating it out from another area, which may also grab people's interest. All right, here I go. I'm just gonna start. So my trick to do this without putting anything on the wall is just like, I measure down from the top of the frame using my finger, and then I know where I want it to go on the wall. So like center about 1/2 inch down from the bottom of my finger right now. This is my like very imprecise method. Oh my God, I just realized. This is exactly what I was describing. 4 corners almost like perfectly lined up. I cannot stand for this. All right, I mean, this is it. I'm pretty happy with it. Here, I'll show you the whole space. my Diet Coke. Ceiling fan. Not bad. I'm excited. I think this is like, I don't know, it's gonna inspire me. I think the keys here are using spacing correctly, thinking about art and styling and how that actually is going to play with your design, like what it's all gonna look like together once it's set up, rather than like how each thing looks on its own before it's in a practical use setting. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you. Oh, important reminder, we didn't actually measure anything. Like I have my measuring tape here, but we didn't use it. So I don't know if this means I'm extremely particular and a perfectionist, or I'm like not one at all. But in the end, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Thank you.